So welcome back to episode 3 of Space to Create. This week it'll be me, Janey, and my colleague Yair will be taking you through the whole video with our normal sections of Magic Make, Drawing Date, Awesome Artist and Mind and Body. I'm starting the Magic Make this week by making one of these creatures with you. We're drawing on the inspiration from writer and artist Kim Worker, who has a project and a book called Make It Mighty Ugly. And she suggests making a little creature that is ugly on purpose. And by ugly, she means imperfect. So it might have jaggedy stitching that's not very neat and mismatching eyes. And she says that's a really brilliant way to be creative because it really helps you to open up and explore and be brave and trust in yourself because you're not worried about getting it perfect all the time. So next up, we're going to start making one of these creatures. So see you in a minute. So here we are at our making table with our creature. I'll just show you it in a little bit more close up so you can see it. It's got a funny shaped head with just some old threads glued on for hair. It's got two mismatching eyes. One's a button that's sewn on and a big goofy kind of mouth. Some really jaggedy uneven stitching and some pipe cleaner arms. And a body. Okay, so you can have a good look at him. There you go. He's far from perfect, right? Now all you need is an old sock or two halves of two different socks. So I'm cutting them. One I cut just above the heel, and that's the bit that goes in your ankle normally, and that's going to be the body part. And the other bit where your toe goes, again cut just above the heel, and that's going to be the head. So you just need two bits of socks like that and some scissors to help you cut, some stuffing to stuff inside and make your character nice and filled out. If you haven't got stuffing, you can use bits of old fabric or your mum's old tights, whatever you can gather around. Then I've got a needle and thread because I'm going to sew some bits of mine, but you don't have to do any sewing if you haven't got a needle and thread. You can just use glue. I'm going to be using a glue gun, and that's just so that mine sticks quickly for the purpose of the video, but you could just use PVA glue and give it a little bit of a longer drying time. And after that, all you need are just decorative items, so pipe cleaners for arms, and I've got some feathers and some googly eyes and bits that I'm going to stick on, and you can just use whatever you have lying around the house. See how inventive you can get. Okay, so I'm going to start by stuffing the head. Okay, and I want a nice big head. So I'm going to stuff it right in. But I want to leave a bit here so that I can sew on my body. So next, I just pop up the ankle bit of my other sock, and that's going to be the body. And I'm going to do some really awful, ugly, imperfect stitching. So we're using the word ugly, but I think these characters are really cute. It's just a way of saying imperfect, isn't it? It's just Kim Worker's catchy way of saying beautiful art things don't have to look perfect. So she is not actually saying that they look awful, but she's saying that she loves their imperfections. And I just think that's an amazing idea. So I'm doing a bit of stitching, but instead of stitching, if you don't have a needle and thread, or if you find stitching a bit difficult, you can just glue it on and then tie it. So I will show you in a second. I put a pipe cleaner around mine as well. So look at this stitching, it's just not neat at all, and that's great because I want this. I want something not too neat. I'm just going to finish it off there, and I could go in with another colour of thread, like here I did the yellow and the green, but instead what I'm going to do is put a pipe cleaner around. I think I'm going to use this green one. So you see I'm helping to attach my body and my head together with the pipe cleaner, and then again start stuffing the body. And you can kind of stuff it any which way you like. You can practice, you know, giving it a nice big tummy. So yeah, look, it's looking good with a nice big tummy. I think I'd give it an even bigger tummy. And spend a bit of time stuffing it and seeing what weird shapes you can get it into. Give it a bit of a bottom. And then I just leave my characters unstitched at the bottom. But you could stick them down to a piece of card if you wanted it to stand up. So I've got the body shape already, and now I'm just going to do my arms. Your character might have no arms, it might be armless, but I'm just going to snip a couple of little holes in place, and I'm going to push in a couple of pipe cleaners, and then I'm going to make it have springy arms. Look at those, they're great. Pipe cleaners are just awesome. Okay, there we are. And then it's time to start decorating. So as I said, I've got my handy glue gun. Just get it a bit closer. But you can just use PVA, whatever you have to hand. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue. Glue guns, you have to be ever so careful you don't burn your fingers, because they really can be painful. Oh wow, look at that eye. In fact, I love that eye so much. I'm just going to make this other eye sort of go up here a bit. Hey, it's so quirky looking. And I think I will decorate its body with a little glittery pom-pom. And I thought I would stick a feather into the head. So again, what I'm going to do is to just cut a little hole. There we are. And push the feather in. Wow, that really starts to bring it to life, doesn't it? And I actually had hand drawn a mouth that I was going to put on it with teeth sticking out, and I was going to cut it out, but I actually really like the way this stitching kind of looks like a mouth, and I think I'm just going to leave it like that. The character's told me that it's ready and that it's finished, so what I will do is stick it onto some cardboard feet, because I'm not going to do the mouth. I've got a little bit of extra time, so I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard and I'm going to cut it into the shape of two big feet, and I'm going to use my glue gun again. I'm just going to put heaps of glue around the base and stick it down. And yay, look, he can stand up. How amazing is that? And I don't think it's a he at all. It's definitely a girl. I'm going to call her Jemima. And I'm going to think about a story for Jemima. I'm going to think about all the things. I might write a list of all the things that Jemima likes to do. Jemima really likes her family and her pet fish. She's got a bowl of pet fish. They're all crazy neon coloured ones from an outer space planet. So I'm going to make up some other interesting facts about Jemima, and I might make her some friends. So have fun making your character, and you can always look up the work of Kim Worker on the internet if you want. And remember that making a thing look crazy and imperfect is a lovely way to explore your creativity. So have lots of fun.
Hello.
Hi.
We're back with Lila and me, Yair. We're going to do something slightly different today. Not music, art. Even though I'm a musician, not an artist, I thought I'll give it a try. So you might all be better artists than I am, but it's sometimes fun to experiment with little things that we create. So today is all about potatoes, and I brought my assistant and daughter Lila. Lila loves potatoes. In fact, she founded the Potato Club, which is a secret club all dedicated to the love of potatoes. So today I'm going to talk about potatoes and what we can do with them a little bit. And the whole thing started when we watched Newsround the other day, which is a TV program for kids. It brings news from the world to kids, and it's often funny things or weird things or cute things or uplifting and happy news, but it's also really interesting stuff. So the other day there was an item in the news about farmers in Spain having too many potatoes because they couldn't sell them as a result, I guess, of the coronavirus, and they had so much crop left. So that reminded me that only a few days before that, a good friend of mine, Chris, called me and said, "Hey, Yair, do you eat potatoes?" And I said, "Sure, I have a big potato fan in my house." And he said, "Oh, great, because I got too much. The grocery store delivered my vegetables and they gave me too much. Can I drop some off?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." When he came back and he dropped off some potatoes, keeping social distancing, he gave me this sack of potatoes. Can you imagine that? So I thought, oh my gosh, what will I do with all these potatoes? And some of them looked like that, and we thought, oh, maybe we can plant some of them. And some of them were already a little bit soft, so maybe easier to make a mash. But then I thought, how about we make a family of potatoes or do some art with them? So this is what we're going to do today. So if you have a potato or butternut or sweet potato or something like that, here's what we need. We need one of them. Can you show us what we've got, Lila? Just a lovely, sweet, ordinary, simple potato. And what we're going to do is we're going to give it a face. My assistant will help me, thank you. And we're going to use some colors, paint, and we're going to give our potatoes a face. So this one looks like that. And that's a baby potato there. So it's very simply just doing your own version of a face. And then we're going to use, if you have a garden, or if you live in a flat and you can go outside and find some little bush or a bit of grass, pick up a little bit of grass, and then all you need is blue tack. And what we're going to do is we're going to decorate our potatoes and give them some hair. Now this one here, he's ready for Jack in the Green. Look, he's all ready. Woohoo!
Look at mine. It's got long hair.
And then to add to the character, we are going to use some toothpicks.
Or sticks.
Or sticks. If you don't have toothpicks at home, don't shout, "Mommy, I need toothpicks. Can you buy some?" Just go outside and look for some small sticks, which is what Lila did when she thought we ran out of toothpicks. So you get small sticks and you give your little potato a leg, and you give your little potato an arm, another one. I think mine is just going to have one leg. No, I'll give him
one-legged. He's a pirate.
Is he? Okay. So
yeah, because they're wonky. You're a pirate.
So then you've got a little funny creature, and you can make them into a family of potatoes, or you can make them into a rock band if you add some props that you can do.
Oh no, his hair fell off.
He needs a shower. And we're going to show you a couple more that we created just for variety. This one here was made by Emery. He's only 5. Look, no, that's you made that. Oh no, Emery did.
Emery made
Look
that.
at his face.
I made this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ah.
And
And you can give them one eye or spiky hair. And you can just make a family of fun potatoes. And this is your challenge for today, is to create a family of any vegetable. But remember that vegetables are for eating. So try and remember and eat those good things, because they're good for you.
He's a potato. Hello.
Hello. What you up to?
Nothing much. You?
Yeah, I'm just talking to these guys here. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hi. Hope you enjoy it. Have fun. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For this week's awesome artist, we are going to be looking at the American artist Faith Ringgold. Faith is an African American, and she specializes in making these story quilts. I've got one in front of me that's entitled "Who's Afraid of Aunt Jemima?" So the story quilts are made by patching pieces of fabric together to make like a big kind of blanket. And in the patches, Faith has included drawings and writing, words, scraps of fabric that are meaningful to her. And what I really love about this particular one is that Faith has taken the story of a black African slave lady, and she has retold the woman's history and her story, featuring her as a very powerful, important woman. And I love this aspect of art, that you can retell the story of someone who's had really quite a difficult time, and you can depict them as being quite powerful and more of a master of their own destiny. And I just think this is fabulous, because it reminds us that we can use art to tell our own story the way that we see it. So for example, at this time when we're all stuck indoors, we could tell our story remembering elements of nature or things that we used to enjoy doing when we went to school. And if you liked, you could make your own story quilt. This is one that I made along with my children, and what we did was we used squares of paper, because they didn't want to do a lot of sewing, so we used squares of paper and some scraps of fabric, and we've just cut them into patches and drawn on them, and we used crayon and oil pastels to kind of draw on the stitches in between, to just draw them on in nice bold colours. And on the patches, my children included things that are important to them at this time. So they've got the word brothers because I've got 2 boys and they're really enjoying having each other. And they've put love channel because I think they were feeling like love was really important. Rainbows, because lots of people have put rainbows in their window. Hope, trees, family. So you could have a go. All you need to do is just on any piece of paper, you can put scraps and patches, or you can just draw the patches on, just draw squares and shapes on, and you can put things that mean a lot to you during this time. So just to have one final look at Faith Ringgold's beautiful piece of work, Who's Afraid of Aunt Jemima? And Faith is really putting people like this black woman who was a slave, she's putting her in a new light, she's casting her in a new light and seeing how strong and powerful this woman actually was, even though sometimes people didn't see that because they thought of her as just a slave. But actually it took a lot of strength to go through what she did, and Faith is celebrating that.
Next exercise is a little opportunity for you all to just relax, and it is called meditation, but what it really is simply being, not doing anything. So if you close your eyes, open your ears and just tune into a bit of sound and then to a bit of silence, closing our eyes. And it's a chance for us to completely relax and just give yourself a moment of peace. It'll only take a few minutes, so if you sit comfortably where you are and just noticing your breath. As you breathe in through your nose, pause, and then breathe out through your mouth. We're going to do it 3 more times, slowly, deeply. Breathe in through the nose, pause, and out. Remember, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Couple more times. In, and in and out. If you feel any tension or if any thoughts come to your mind, just remember that it's okay. It's okay to have that thought. It's only a thought. It's okay to feel that tension because it will go away. And just come back to that simple breath. You can make a sound if you like. And just tell yourself, I feel calm right now. I feel peaceful and I am safe. I am safe. I feel calm. I'm okay. I'd like you to tell it to yourself. I am safe. I feel calm. I'm okay. It's time to say goodbye now. It's time for us to finish.
I will be here every week with Yair and we'll be joined by different guest artists. If you've had a good time and enjoyed making something, do share photos or even a video with Catherine at Culture Shift. Check out this email address at the end of the video.